So, it's the last day of spring, so tomorrow we're going to have to buy a bunch of seeds. Oh, what's up with my headphones? This is distressing. Okay, spirits don't like me. Oh, what was that? Oh, hey! Nice timing. Thank you for the raid, envious kitten. I kind of figured you were just wrapping up Dark Souls, so it's probably a good time to go ahead and get back on my BS. I did watch you beat down the Demon of Song, though. One of the few bosses I actually kind of like in DS2, despite being kind of annoying. At least it's not a big dude in armor, so I give him credit for that. And greetings, Elliot the Moose. How is everyone tonight? Oh, my inventory's full already. Jeez. This game, I tell you. Okay, that's probably fine. Fair enough. I still remember the time I was surprised by that one attack that the Covetous Demon has, where it swallows you alive and automatically de-equips all your gear. I was so upset when that happened, because I thought it had actually destroyed everything I had on my person. Turns out that wasn't the case, which was nice, but man, that is a shocker in the middle of a fight. I mean, that was still when... I'm doing okay. I'm just, work just left me really stressed out again. Tomorrow is the corporate return deadline date, so we're getting too many calls about things I don't know anything about, and the person calling never seems to know enough about to phrase an actual question to me about. So it's very stressful. Yeah, I keep looking for work, but nobody's really taking my application seriously, so I don't know what to do at this point. Oh, yeah. And the great thing is, if somebody needs us to examine a return, because it's something we can't diagnose over the phone, the turnaround can be as long as a couple days. And they don't want to hear that, because it's like, oh my god, I'm already this deep into the extension deadline. I'm like, well, you should have thought of that 6 months ago. It's like I try to have some sympathy for people, but when it's been that long, it's like, guys, get it together. Now, granted, I don't have a corporate return to file, and at the rate I'm going, I probably never will. So, it's not an experience I deal with, but I would think with a 6-month extension, you would be able to get it sorted. Okay. Let's throw the milk in here, turn it into various cheeses. Oh, I didn't even check the greenhouse. Okay, so we have a cherry tree, so we're just waiting for this one to spawn pomegranates. And I am still carrying too much random junk. Yeah, plus the other thing that really sucks is if you are a shareholder in an S corporation or a partnership, you have to wait for them to issue your K1 so you can report it on your individual return. So if the individual responsible for filing that pass-through entity is dragging their feet, your return is delayed. And, that's something that may not be anything you can do anything about, which sucks for them for sure. But then again, they have another month. They have until October to get themselves sorted out. So, in other news, I found a mouse scurrying around my apartment today. I have just laid out. I just laid out traps this afternoon, and I'm waiting to hear that satisfying snap as it bags a mouse. But we'll see what happens there. The only traps I use are the basically old Victor traps. They snap, mouse is dead, game over. It's really the only humane way to do it. I know there's a lot of people who are fans of those glue traps, but that basically means you have a mouse starving to death for a few days, and I won't do that. Once, like, years ago. I mean, it was a long time, so that's why I still had traps in the house to bring out of the woodwork. And I still have peanut butter from when I made cookies a couple weeks ago. So it's like, well, I am ready for this. I am equipped to handle this level of nonsense. So I only saw the one, and it looked kind of big. So it might be a rat, but it could be some other kind of large, rodent. I'm not an expert, and I didn't get a good close look at it. So okay, am I still not getting any gold? Let's see. Hey, understandable. It's delicious. I mean, my favorite M&Ms are the peanut butter ones. Okay, well, why is that in here? Okay, well, these can be gifts, and that can be a gift for Abigail. Oh, wait, I still also need pumpkins for other purposes. I want to be able to start making pumpkin soup for increased luck when that's available. And stupidly, I have to buy parsnips today. Because those... Oh, I forgot what I'm doing. I'm going to start growing those in the greenhouse because there's a recipe that calls for them, and it increases my farming skill, which is maxed out. However, you can go beyond level 10 with buffs. Yep. Yeah, I'm not looking forward to winter, because I have irresponsible people living in the building who keep leaving the front door open, which is great if you want bugs in your place. Do I complain too much? I sometimes feel like I might. Okay, what do I have for geodes? Oh, there's one in there. Alright, let's run these into town, and... Oh, wait. The strawberries are good as gifts. But yeah, probably at like 2 in the morning, I will hear a snapping noise from the trap, and I will probably jump out of bed and start yelling at it. Like bragging. It's like, yeah, I got you! I'll be shit-talking to a dead mouse because I'm definitely stable. So I've got 3 of them set up near where I've seen the little bastard, and I found droppings in the entryway closet. So we'll get it under control soon enough. The other thing I had to deal with only once was ants. And the trick there is you go to a hardware store. In this case, I went to Home Depot, and I bought a bag, a 5-pound bag of diatomaceous earth. Oh, man. And this stuff... A 5-pound bag is basically a lifetime supply for most people. Okay, every time I read Depot in a business name, such as Home Depot, I immediately think Despot. I just imagine I'm going to go into Home Depot, and there's going to be this dude in orange with a Fidel Castro beard, trying to sell me parts to make a guillotine for La Revolution. But that's just because my brain goes strange places. But yeah, but I bought I bought a 5 pound bag of dichotomous earth, and it cleared out the ant problem I was having one summer. It's like one day they were there, the next they were all dead, probably under the stove. That stuff is amazing. Because basically they try to walk across it, and it just rips them apart. Okay, that should do. That's more than I will ever actually use. Oh, let's give Kent a fruit. Oh yeah, it's Sunday. It's a new week. So we'll... Oh, why am I getting this buzz in my left... headphone? I think the next growth industry is going to be guillotines, and I really want to get it on the ground floor of being a guillotine salesman. I'm just saying, there's a market for this. And I could make a buck or two. Now, the real irony would be selling guillotines on Amazon. Since I think Jeff Bezos is like the first person that people would think of. Of course, I'm saying this on Twitch, so I'm not terribly wise. And you should never listen to me for advice, because I don't know what I'm doing. Except in Dark Souls, I'm okay at that. But yeah, tomorrow's the deadline day, and I am not looking forward to it. Okay, we've got some more coal, so we'll be able to turn... Yes, that's what it is. It's a bagel slicer. Okay, so back in 2003 or so, I took a butcher knife to... Oh, I've got a donation. Cool. I took a butcher knife and used it to cut a bagel in half, and I was not paying attention to what I was doing. And I cut my thumb in a place that the... the guy who stitched my thumb up was impressed. His word. Oh, I hadn't even thought of that. So anyway, I cut my thumb badly. Enough that I had to go to the emergency room. And I had cut the... Okay, so like nerves, when they get to a certain part of our body, they kind of branch out like a tree. I had cut the nerve about just where it all branches out. So to repair it would require thousands of dollars of microsurgery. That never happened, so I just dealt with a numb spot on my thumb for the next decade. And the other part is I like 40% severed the tendon. It was a pretty impressive wound. The doctor was pretty cool, though. He's a bit of a sci-fi nerd, so we were talking about Babylon 5 while he was stitching me up, which is certainly an experience that I have now had. But, yeah, bagel. My dad, as a gag for my birthday, included a bagel slicer. What he gave me, I'm like, listen, you smartass. Okay. I'm just going to sell these beans. And I'll go ahead and sell the star fruit. We're going to make more anyway. Yeah, it was... I mean, it takes a lot before I go to the hospital for something. And when, you know, the one... Well, the first incident was pretty bad. And the second one, my kidneys shut down. It's hard to see because the scar would be where the bendy part of the thumb is. So there's not really anything you can see there. So I got like 5 or 6 stitches in my thumb and I don't have a cool scar. So I can't impress the ladies with it. Not that I've ever tried. Okay, let's go to the quarry and see if I can get mining skill 10. I mean, what else am I doing? Oh, I need more wood. Maybe I should just go to the bus stop. Or not the bus stop, the train station. First the quarry. Let's, Alright, we've got some copper over there. So, weird question. If I attempted to do coding streams during the week, probably focused on game development, is that something people would enjoy watching? And I guess I'm asking a relatively small audience, but some input is better than none. It'd basically be me hacking Python to write small games. Nothing major, but it's something I've considered for a while, and I don't know if people find that entertaining or not. I mean, most of the stuff I do, you know, I like to do a lot of blind plays because that's something I like to watch. So that's what caused me to make those, but I never watch people code. Oh, that's cool. Because I have some ideas for things I'd like to write. Nothing complicated, but I want to get... I want to actually get them done. You know, I want to have something I can put on my GitHub account. Okay, cool. Well, I think I'm going to have to consider it then. Let's go over to the mines. I'm going to just gather a little bit of wood. Oh, we'll gather this artifact, though. For an ancient doll, which is no good. Yeah, I went to college for computer science, and unfortunately about 2009 or so, I kind of had my brain just wouldn't let me continue. A lot of stress all at once. I was working full-time, and I just couldn't keep it up I couldn't keep up the pace, basically. I also kind of want to get a team together to be able to do game jams, because I can't do the whole thing on my own. I can write the code, but I can't do art or music, so there's a lot missing from a game when you don't have any of that. I mean, there's a lot of free resources out there, too, but... Oops. Yeah, I didn't even get a bachelor's out of it. Or an associate's. Oh, cool. Yeah, I am not capable of art, as it turns out. But yeah, I was having an idea for kind of a twin-stick shooter, not unlike Berserk or Robotron, with a couple twists to it. And I figured out how I'd make the enemies work, and basically I could dynamically generate paths for them based on a randomly generated room, and it winds up not being too expensive computationally to do, which is nice. I'm like, okay, all this is kind of coming together. I just need to sit down and do it. Alright, I guess I should run home. Let's see, we've got 458 wood. That should be enough for a little while. Bonk. Wow, a beach totem. Nifty. Alright, well, that's another day in the bag. What do we have here? 3 gold bars. And we're going to have a few more shortly. So it looks like we're going to be able to make about 6 iridium sprinklers. And I cannot stress how much of a big deal that is. First, though, let's crawl into bed with our husbando. Okay, a little bit of cash from my sales. And it's officially summer. God, I've actually been watching a bit of TNG lately. What is it? So I got Paramount Plus because a friend of mine wanted to watch Interstellar for movie night. Mostly because she knows that myself and her wife were just going to be annoyed by the movie for being terrible. And we watched it. We made fun of it, but I'm like, man, I just spent $10 on the subscription service. I am not familiar with that. Interesting. Okay. I have a lot of ideas, but they're more in the kind of arcadey action game, although I do have one simulation I would like to run, or create. Mostly because I think it's novel enough that it would catch some interest. And it's a game I would play, which is the most important part. Okay, we're gonna have to... Let's see. We need to make our stuff. Oh, the high quality fertilizer. As well as prepare the fields and everything. Okay, we've got some mead. That's always nice. Oh, and we can throw some of these coffee beans in there. Yeah, that is the idea. I mean, I know my taste doesn't align with, you know, the larger audiences. You know, I look at most AAA games and I like say, this looks terrible. You know, basically... I think I've bitched about this before, but everything Ubisoft does kind of makes me cringe and say, why is this a thing that you're trying to sell? Because you already did this, and it was bad. But... you know, I like the weird kind of offbeat titles. You know, I'm really enjoying Cult of the Lamb, for example. Plus, you know, I named somebody after Envious Kitten. Well, we know how that went. Yeah, I mean, how many Assassin's Creed games do they need to make before the before that ship actually sails? Oh. Okay, so I have a clip of this, but the follower named after Envious Kitten came up to me one day and said, you know, hey, dear leader, I've always had this dark desire. And they asked me to feed them a bowl of poop. And I'm like, well, you know what? I'm a benevolent leader. I will do this for my follower. And, yeah, they got themselves a mouthful of fertilizer. I think I have a clip of that on my Twitch. I should probably put it on YouTube and other places. Although I guess kids these days would put it on TikTok as well. Let's see. Alright, let's go talk to Pierre. Are those summer crops? Well, I'll be damned. Okay, Pierre has some of the seeds we need, but the real cash crop is going to be the other thing. Words. Starfruit from the desert. So, let's see here. Melons. Yeah, we're going to want 24 by 4. So that's 80 plus 96. Okay. Too many. Okay, tomatoes aren't a stick crop, so that's good. So we have poppies and spanglu. Oh, and we need to do... Let's do a plot of sunflower seeds. I am overextending myself. I can tell that already. Oh, let's rearrange a few things here, too. We want the watering can, the hoe, and we'll probably need a pickaxe just to clean things up. I may not have enough room to go do starfruit. I want them, though, because they make a ton of money. Okay. We're going to start with our crops that we can keep harvesting into fall, which is basically going to be the corn. Yeah, and we got 64 corn. So let's go ahead and... Since corn is good in both summer and fall, it's worth putting a lot in there because that's just a ton. Basically, you just get more because it's going to keep regrowing itself. I think. Hold on. Yeah, it continues to produce after first harvest, so that's a big deal. Blueberries similarly produce after their first harvest, but they're only good for summer. And I apparently... Oh, I bought 65. That's why. The problem is, I'm a big fool. And I need to build a plot for my iridium sprinklers, and that's going to be over here to the west. Oh, hold on. Huh. Well, you know, if you don't like the ads you're getting, you can always subscribe. It is September, so there is a 20% discount. Okay, I feel filthy every time I do that. Okay, we're going to put the blueberries up here with the rest of the multi-harvest stuff. It's funny, the ads I see the most are for Adobe products, which is interesting because I will never use their stuff. Indeed. Well, I mean, I would like to get to a place where my main job becomes Twitch, but that'll never happen. Not in the timeline they need it to happen. Okay, I'm going to plant radishes in some of these side areas that basically I apparently didn't fill up with crops. Are these radishes or... Oh, those are tomatoes. Yeah, it's a nice thought. But man, if my self-doubt at my regular job is one thing, I definitely have a lot of self-doubt about how entertaining I am on Twitch. Mostly because I have no practice at entertaining. Like, everyone in my family, with the exception of my mom, is somehow involved in, like my dad, both of my sisters... They all get into theater stuff. And even my stepmom, to a limited degree, did, basically in terms of her... Yeah, my dad, back in 2002... now, he has a longer history of it than that, but in 2002, he wanted to join the Rocky Horror Show in the local production. So he got into that, and he really got into the group he was with, and spent about the next 10, 15 years doing shows there. He would tech them and act in them, because he had a pretty good background in theater tech from when he was a kid, because my grandfather was in fact a drama teacher. So it's funny because he knows how to do things from way back when. His experiences before everything was computerized and so forth. And a lot of these kids just don't have the same experience. Like, for example, when they were setting levels for lighting, the light board they have at the theater is a day or two older than God. It's just it's basically just some pots that you move up and down, and that's it. There is nothing more to the device. And a lot of these kids were learning their theater stuff at the college, where they had a much fancier device for setting levels. And these guys are like, how are we going to get the levels consistent when we change scenes? And he's like, well, why don't you just take a piece of cardboard and template everything on that. So it's like you have these levels for this scene. You cut out the cardboard. You slap it on the board between scenes and set the levels to where you've got everything cut out. Simple, low-tech solution, but, it's what you did in the theater in the 70s because nobody had hardware that you could just save your light levels for. Yep. But yeah, he did that for about 10, 15 years. And of course, before then, there were some other independent productions he got involved in. Notably, he did a production of The Button, which has a scene where one character shoots at another. And he's like, well, we have a gun that fires blanks and all, and that's all well and good. But unless I put some work into this, that the bullet is just vanishing. It's just a thing, and it's very clear that I'm just firing blanks. And he's like, we need more than this. So, of course, him being him, he overdoes things a little bit, and it pays off. I mean, it absolutely pays off. What he did was he set up a spring-loaded device on. He actually set up 2 of these on bookshelves on the stage, so that there's a line he could pull, and the bookshelf, the device behind the bookshelf would snap forward and break apart a vase very dramatically on the stage or on the bookshelf. So he'd hear them fire. He'd blow. He'd have the thing blow the vase up. And I remember sitting in the audience, and this old dude was right. Oh my God, are they actually firing bullets? I'm like, well, he did his job, if that's what somebody thinks. So pretty cool. He always would go that extra mile. Me, however, I was working nights, and it's like I just couldn't put that time into something like that. Plus, I really wasn't all that interested for the most part. Like, I respect a good performance. Don't misunderstand me. I just don't want to do that performance. Yeah, well, the thing is, like, when you see practical effects in movies, they never age. They keep working at the same level that they did when the movie was first shot. So if you watch the original The Thing, you've got this rubbery, messy monster all over the place, and it looks friggin' cool. Oh, I'm exhausting myself, and it's late at night. I'm not going to be able to get the starfruit planted, or the melons planted just yet. But yeah, you watch other versions of it where they... how do I still have peppers? What the frick? Oh, that's right, I had 3 too many. Because I hit the button 1 too many times. Okay, we still have 2 hours before I pass out. Let's see how much advanced fertilizer I can make. There we go. Yeah, when you put a whole bunch of CG in a movie, that CG also doesn't age. And in that case, it winds up really harming the movie later on. Okay, so we can make 71 of these. Let's use those tomorrow. For now, we'll call it a night. We'll put the melon seeds in where I can plant the iridium sprinklers. Let's see. 6, 6, 6. The number of the beast. Oh, sorry. I don't know what came over me. There we go. So we can get that sorted tomorrow. I need to watch The Thing again. I mean, I know it's not winter yet, but... There's something I love about those 80s John Carpenter movies.